All right, hello everybody. We're going to go through assignment one, year plan. What is this assignment all about? So basically the rationale is the year planning is an essential process for teaching. You need to have an idea of where you're going. You need to have an idea of what's happening throughout the entire year. So creating year plans will ensure you cover curricular outcomes while maintaining a sense of direction for your subject. You might have teachers that say, oh, year planning is just for what you do at college and university. I would just walk away from those teachers because either sometimes they are just following a textbook and not actually connecting what they're doing to curricular goals, or they just have forgotten that you need to plan this out at least for the first 5 years. And then after that, you kind of know what you're doing. So year plans are really important. This plan is a continuous work in progress, and you will need analysis and reflection each year and throughout your career. What you start with in your first year of teaching for a year plan will probably be quite different than what you bring to the year plan in year 5 or 10 or 15. This is an important part, this next section. Once you've completed one year plan, the process is the same for other subjects and other grades. So you won't see year planning being taught in your math or your science or your social studies curricular courses because the way that we're going to work through the ELA year plan is how you can work through all of the subject year plans. So keep that in mind as you're going through this assignment, that this is something that you can use cross-curricular and cross-grade. Okay, so you're going to actually create a year plan. Woohoo! I like year planning. It's 60% of the total grade is the actual year plan creation, and 40% you'll see down here is the actual putting it on a real live calendar. This is a group mark, so everyone in your group gets the same mark. So in your grade groups, which you should know, and if not, we can definitely go over that. So in your practicum grade groups, using the Alberta Program of Studies objectives, which you now know, you're going to write out all the ELA objectives for your grade verbatim. So just copy paste. You don't have to change them. Please do it verbatim. Then you're going to choose 5 units specifically to fulfill language arts objectives and 2 integrated units to fulfill integrated objectives in LA, social studies, science, and math. And if you're going, well, I don't know what those are, don't worry, we're going to go through those so you'll have a better idea. Then you're going to connect Alberta ELA Program of Studies outcomes to each unit. The specifics are limit a 15 to 20 day unit to 10 outcomes and a 20 to 35 day unit to 15 to 18 outcomes. If you have like 47 outcomes for a 15-day unit, it's not realistic. 10 outcomes for a 15 to 20 day unit, you probably actually will be able to fulfill. Include social studies, science, and math objectives for the 2 integrated units, and choose only the outcomes that fit the best to the unit. You have 95 objectives to fulfill in ELA, and so you have to be discerning. So as you work through, think about what is the best fit for this particular unit. You're going to include daily work, program work, so things like daily 5, things like calendar time, things like sharing circle, any kind of resource or program that you use, you're going to list that separately. Then your units and a timeline that will best fulfill the outcome. Use your practicum experience as basis for choosing units. You know what your teachers have been working on. Ask your teachers. Feel free to ask, what units are you doing? And copy them at this point, because it's the exercise of going through it. And then when you find out your units that you want to use, you already know how to do this. Okay, so that's part A. Part B is the year calendar. So basically you're going to use the Medicine Hat School District number 76 2020-2021 school year calendar. You're going to actually place your units on your calendar. So you can use the one that I have listed under assignment 1, or you're welcome to use a different one. I just gave you a pretty basic template. Be mindful of holidays. You want to kind of have units finishing before holidays instead of like straggly finishing a unit 2 days after Christmas is kind of just not pedagogically sound. So try to put your units so that it's a cohesive unit and it is done before a holiday. Halloween, remember, Halloween's going to be a little crazy. Don't plan any big things for the day before, the day of, or the day after Halloween. The kids are probably worse on the day after because they've been up all night and eating sugar and things like that. Think about that week before Christmas. It's a bit of a gong show. So again, start to be realistic in where you want to place this particular learning. Think about the days before spring break and of course the end of school. You know what the last couple of weeks of school are like in elementary, lots of things going on. So just keep those realistic things in mind. So do September 14th. Do September 14th. We will have one person in face-to-face, time before it's due, but you do want to get a start on it. Connect with your group and have a go with it. So you need to have a completed year plan template, you need to have a school calendar with units, and you need to have the project team work plan. The done column checked and virtually signed. So I'm going to go through what that looks like. So here's your rubric. I'm going to leave this with you to have a read through. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Just did you do what I asked? Did you actually connect them in a realistic and really a kind of a teacher way? Are you starting to think like a teacher? And did you actually put them so that they were a realistic timeline? Like you didn't split up your unit over Christmas, or you didn't try to do some big assignment on Halloween, that kind of thing in there. Okay, so these are your grade groups. I think you know all of this. I don't think any of this is a surprise. But that's your team. That's who you will be working. That's who you'll be working with. Okay, I want to take a look at some of these other things that I have posted for you. So you do have a template. This is what I want you to actually do the assignment on. So you can see here's the daily work, program work, and again, I'll explain this more in my lectures, units and the integrated unit. I have written out the general outcome and then the points, but I want you to just keep adding in. I want you to write out all the specific outcomes. And it's a calculated decision because if you actually write them out and work with them, they just become part of your thinking versus me just writing them in there and you just kind of dealing with. So then you're going to just simply go through and put like an X. So you just say, okay, I think this particular outcome is fulfilled by this particular unit, and you just put an X or a check mark, anything that you want in there. So that is on Blackboard. Also, don't save right now. What else do you have on? What other good things do you have going on here? I'm just gonna go back. You also have the group work plan. Basically, this is, I just want you to kind of just have a bit of a contract for your team. So what needs to be done? So get together what needs to be done, who's going to do, when, and then hopefully it's all checked out. Just kind of helps in group work. Sometimes we send you off into group work and just sort of hope that it works. This maybe gives you a little bit of a chance to say, yep, we are all doing a part of it, and a little bit of a that you have to step up. You have to step up to the plate. Everybody in the group has to step up to the plate, and then you just sign that, and good to go. Okay. Here we go back. You also have that's the group work plan. You also have, I've given you the calendar here. So you want to use those particular dates. So think about these when you have a teacher's convention, when you have non-instructional days. You don't want to plan a whole bunch of assignments due on non-instructional days when the kids aren't there. So start to think about what this looks like. And oops, went too far back. And you have, this is really a basic calendar. This is what I want you to actually put specific units on. So here you might color, if you're doing a unit from, say, you're probably going to spend the first couple weeks doing some get to know you things, but say you want to do a unit like this, and then you just put it in a particular color. And then you put on the side, this is my unit on poetry or whatever kind of thing. Okay, so again, it gives you just a little bit. You're welcome to use, oops, whoa, deleting everything. You're welcome to use this particular calendar, or if you have one that you like better, you can use that, as long as I can see that you have looked through and um, put actual dates to the units, not just don't save, just not just random things. Okay, I think those are all the documents. As you can see, these are all under assignment 1. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a go. Know that I am going to be putting out a lecture on this, so you don't have to be creating this without any kind of a basis. All right, take care.